Hello, everybody. May the grace of our Lord Jesus Christ and the love of God the Father be with each one of you. During these days when we are prevented from coming together to meet, to worship, I thought I would just take a few moments each week to share some little thoughts with you that perhaps would be helpful. First of all, today I want to encourage any one of you who has any need that you think we could respond to, please to feel free to call me personally or email the parish. We'd like to help you in any way we possibly can. Perhaps some requests we couldn't fulfill, but if there's anything you need that you can't find anyplace else, please be sure to let us know. Secondly, I just wanted to assure you that during these very difficult days, I am praying for each and every one of you. I celebrate Mass every day privately, which is spiritually not an easy thing for me to do because I miss being with all of you. But I have to say, in all honesty, that very often I picture your faces. I imagine you sitting in the pews where you normally sit every week. And I am praying for each one of you that the Lord give us all that we need to get us through together this pandemic. Please keep me in your prayers as well. Just a couple little thoughts today that may perhaps be something you would want to think about and pray about. God is always at work in the world, always. And there's something he wants us to learn from this pandemic. Not only is he helping us through our scientists and our doctors and nurses to cope with it and ultimately to find a cure for it, he will help us in those ways, but I think there are things he perhaps wants us to learn from all this as well. Just a couple of things come immediately to mind. The first is this. Perhaps this time helps us to become more aware of all the daily blessings we have for which we don't give enough thanks to God. All the things we take for granted so much every single day. I mean, whoever would have thought of a roll of toilet paper as a blessing, or a box of Kleenex as a blessing? But they are, and we just take them for granted so much. Being able to go to a movie, being able to hit the mall for some shopping, being able to gather with friends, go out to a restaurant. Those things are so much a part of our daily lives and so much part of the joy of our daily lives. And so often we just take them for granted and forget that they are, in one way or another, gifts from God. So maybe this time when we don't have those things can make us more aware and help us remember when the pandemic is over to be grateful for all of those little things each day. Secondly, I'm sure you're inspired as I am by all the little acts of kindness we see people performing each day. Checking in on an elderly neighbor. People going online to find out how to make surgical masks and bringing them to the hospitals. Doing errands for somebody who can't get out of the house. Perhaps calling a relative we've neglected for a while just to see how they're doing. All of those little acts of kindness make so much difference during something like this. But perhaps when we look at them and see them being done this way, they should remind us that that's the way we're supposed to live every day. It shouldn't be just during a crisis that we live that way. God calls us every single day to lay ourselves down in love for one another in many, many little ways. And when we do that, what a difference the world is, what a different place the world is. So again, perhaps when all of this is behind us, we won't stop doing those little acts of kindness. We'll continue doing them because that's what God intends. And what a difference it would make in the lives of so many people and in our world. So today, as we once more face all of this together, I just offer you again the assurance of my prayers. And let's remember that as we approach Easter, Easter is a time of new life. It's a time when God reminds us that out of death comes life. Out of evil can come good. And we live in that hope. He will bring us to new life. He will bring us to a renewed life in his time. we live together in that assurance and in that hope. May God bless you and be assured of my love and concern.